What's going on, guys? It is your boy Chaos Pro and Skinny Lad Chris, the hosts of the Marvel Rivals podcast. We are the number one podcast because we're the only podcast. Every week, I'm gonna say it. No,
Mm-hmm.
but this is episode, I believe, 22. And congrats, Chris. We made it to 22 episodes. Big numbers.
That is actually crazy.
It's pretty big. We're coming up on, 6 months of doing this now.
You know what will be a crazy one is 30. Number 30.
That'll be crazier when we hit 50.
Okay. Well, now we're just gonna. It'd be crazy when we hit 100.
We're halfway to 50, okay, and we're almost
That
a
is a
quarter
lot.
way.
That's crazy.
We're almost a quarter way to 100. But Chris, I'm glad to always have these with you. Sorry that we are a bit late on this podcast episode. We had scheduled two guests on to do this episode with us. But unfortunately, one got sick and the other one is extremely tired, which rightfully understandable. We were going to have Hogs and Super Gomez on, but unfortunately, Hogs got sick and Gomez lost his voice. And honestly, I don't blame him. I mean, they just won the Twitch
They
Rivals.
just got done winning the whole tournament, so
Twitch Rivals screaming at the top of their lungs. So, understandably so. We're going to talk about Twitch Rivals, but we got a couple fun categories. Today's going to be a little bit of a light episode just because, not a whole lot to cover, but we just kind of want to give this more on an episode to kind of talk about how the game and what has been shaking up. I let Chris pick the topics today, so we're going to be talking about bans and metas. Something that we do talk about, but we never go super in depth in terms of a whole episode. So, Chris, why don't we talk about the first thing, the new skins of the week? We've got the Lunar New Year, or the Chinese New Year, looking, skins for Mantis and Doctor Strange. What do you think, man?
well, I like them. I'll be honest. I like anything that's green, so I
Oh,
like them
okay.
both a lot. But
Green, green, your favorite
the
color?
strange one, yeah, it is. The strange, not. I don't know how to explain it. In game, this makes me kind of sad with some skins. The front is so much cooler than the back, and I know you only see like the back of most skins, but for like Strange at least,
I'm clipping that.
I'm saying it's true though. No, it's actually true.
I
Like
know, I
for
know.
Mantis, the back of her skin is still looks like cool, but Strange, it looks just like his cape, which is fine. But
Can I be honest? This is like a weird take, but he kind
yeah,
of looks like a Power Ranger.
kind of does. I know
Yeah,
exactly
just a
what you're
little,
talking
just a little
about.
bit, because I used to have like the whole like
Yeah.
vest. But there is one complaint about the Doctor Strange that I have, but there's a massive like to it that I like. I'll tell you right now, right off the bat, I love the sound of the portals. Have you noticed that it makes a new
Oh,
sound?
it's cool. It's
It
cool. Yeah.
sounds so clean. But the downside, and this is kind of like my own thing, because I play a lot of Doctor Strange, which, by the way, I got my fourth Lord this week on Doctor Strange.
That is crazy.
I now have Iron Man, Captain. Oh, sorry, not Captain. I have Iron Man, Star Lord, Black Panther, and I got Doctor Strange. So I got two Lords in 1 week. But there is one complaint. When you jump with him and turn to the left, sometimes his under sleeve that hangs off of his arms, because they're like really long sleeves, it bounces and kind of covers up the crosshair. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've actually seen a couple people mention that.
Yeah, it's kind of distracting. I had to stop. I had to actually stop playing the skin. I bought the skin and I really like it, but I had to stop playing it because it was actually interfering with me shooting. So I do hope that the developers take note of that, just to make sure that nothing gets in the way of the crosshair because of the physics. If that's possible, that'd be fantastic. But yeah, it is something that kind of blocks my vision. So I kind of had to stop using it for the time being. I'm sure they'll fix something like that. But yeah, dude. So we got brand new skins. These are phenomenal. I do like the Mantis. I haven't used it, but I've seen a lot of people whip
It
it
also
out.
has pretty sick sound effects as well.
Does it?
Mhm.
I didn't know that, because I haven't used a whole lot of strategists this season. I've been in my DPS era, along
Yeah.
with playing a lot of Strange. But new skins, make sure you guys get them. They are limited time exclusives, I'm pretty sure, because, well, it's a holiday likes based skin. And they have some pretty good sound effects. But we're going to go ahead and talk about the next topic, because why not? And I believe it is Twitch rivals. Chris,
Hmm.
start this one off. What do you have? Did you watch it?
I watched a good. I think yesterday I watched a lot of the beginning. Right. I
Right.
watched it from Necros's team, his POV. I watched it from Boger's POV. I
Okay.
thought I thought it for okay. This is sound kind of funny. At first, the balancing of the teams was actually pretty good.
You think
I
so?
think. I actually think so. I
That's
think
a
at the
hot.
very big.
That's a
I
hot
think.
take.
I think at the beginning. I think at the beginning it was actually pretty fun to watch. Like in terms of like people, like all the teams looked like they're having fun.
Right. I I do kind of agree with that. From what I watched, and I actually watched more on Hogs and Super Gomez's side.
Yeah.
I just got promoted to mod in Super Gomez's chat, so I kind of had to police a lot of things. I just had to make sure that people were behaving, and so there is some drama involved, and
Yeah.
we're gonna get to that in a bit. We're gonna kind of try to keep it to a PG on that. But I basically was in his chat and just kind of hanging out and watching their POV. The teams did definitely look pretty balanced. I mean, a lot of their games sometimes were trading games left and right. From other perspectives, like XQC's team, they were
Hmm.
trading games with people. Just about everyone's team was just doing. Boger's team was doing pretty good, and just in general, everyone was doing, I would say, pretty well. I was quite shocked. Now there was a bit of a hot situation that had occurred. Why are you laughing?
It's just funny. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's just funny to me.
So there was a hot situation that occurred where I guess midway through the tournament, up until leading into the tournament, there was a rule change, and that's a pretty hot topic when it comes to things because given that they were apparently given one set of rules and then 24
Hmm.
hours to the event happening, there was a rule change. Now, do you know what the rule change was, Chris?
Wasn't it? It was. They used to be able to have four GM, and then didn't they switch it to two?
I think it's either one of those. I think it was either they had to have two GMs or they had to switch it to four GMs. So basically
Hmm.
there was a rule in place where if you were a GM or higher, they called it GM plus. If you were GM or
Yeah.
higher, from the previous season or had ranked in that high, you there was a certain amount that you could have on the team, and then basically they cut it down. So it ended up leaving people having to drop people from their teams and then picking certain people back up and things like that. I forget which, like I said, I forget where it was one or the other. But this is kind of a stale type of situation, and it's kind of a bummer because that
Yeah. I think
puts
it's just unfortunate.
that puts a lot of burden on people as like a whole to say, hey, look, I got to let you go. I have to make a choice between this person and you. And it kind of
Hmm.
leaves, that's kind of a bummer. And that happens. For whatever reasoning that it happened, I don't know. I do know that the Twitch Rivals team is smaller now. And so there are lesser people involved. So keep in mind, no one's pointing fingers at anyone. Everyone's trying to do the best that they can do based on, the given ladder of
Hmm.
authorities of what people want to do. Now, coming from me, I've run 600 to 800 tournaments in my, time of esports. I used to own my own esport company. Speaking of which, I have a t-shirt on Eat, Sleep, and Compete from the esport, the esport arena that we used to
Hmm.
have here. We used to have a place and it's a franchise called the Esports Arena. There's a really big one in Las Vegas. But the rule of thumb is that you set the rules ahead of time so that people can abide by them. And then you're not supposed to change rules mid tournament unless unless you have full consent from every contestant that is completely okay with it. For instance, I'll give you an example. I used to run like Smash Bros tournaments. If top 5 all want to run best of 5 or best of 3 versus a best of 5, basically because maybe time is, you're getting close to in on time. If everyone's okay with it, then that's fine. But if one person's not okay with it, you stick to the rules. You shouldn't change the rules mid of prior hand. It's just kind of a mess. Now, keep in mind, they didn't start the tournament yet, so there is a gray area where they could say, hey, look, we're going to change the rules beforehand. It just kind of stinks because when you make your teams and you're practicing with them, you're getting familiar with it, you kind of waste your time with that, and then you have to drop and pick up new people based on the rules given. They had to, I believe, pick up new players that were like no higher than plat, and in that time being, when you're practicing, those players ended up some of them reaching up higher ranks. Now, I do know that Hog's team, and it's pretty funny, Hog's team and Super Gomez's team ended up going from it was originally Doki Bird's team, and she actually now I actually have a lot of respect for her for doing this. Very popular VTuber. They actually dropped out of their own team so that the players in her team could get more recognition and get the money. And that, in my honest opinion, is some of the biggest respect to someone. Like, there was a couple people that dropped out of their teams. Doki Bird is a very, very popular content creator, and they actually dropped out because she genuinely wanted to give other people in that team the spotlight. She had faith in them. Massive kudos. And ended up becoming Team Hogs.
Yeah.
Team
I'll be
Hogs.
honest, I feel so bad for her as well, because like I saw a lot of people saying that the team is like stacked, right? Or what the
Right.
original team was. I do think it's like a stacked team, but at the same time, it's like if you were like scouting for a team, right? And
Right.
you're like following the rules, and you're like, basically it's like they did the best scouting job on finding people for the team, like,
Yeah, and that's the
and that's
gray
and it
area.
was within the rules as well. Like I
Right.
do think it sucks that last minute they followed the rules, but they just had to swap the team just because of that.
Yeah, and
I felt
it's
kind of
like
bad.
it's like a bad situation. It's like, okay, what do? Do you follow the rules and then you get backlash for it? Like, that's and to be fair, I mean, and to be completely fair, the last team that they played against held their own very
Yeah,
well.
they did.
They
Yeah.
they really, I mean, they took them like, I believe it was I think it was a 3-0 shutout, or it was a 3-1 shutout, but on the domination game, they took them to last game, and it was like close. Like,
It was 99-99 on the
it was
final one.
well on the domination
Yeah.
they ended up like taking them to third round, but on that third game, they were backs against the wall. Like, it was 99-0 on the last round, and Hog's team made a comeback from 0 to 99. Like, they had to win
Yeah.
3 major fights. Now, I want to say this. In that match, Hogs saved on that last match. Hogs single-handedly saved the entire match just from that. He got a nasty ult by base. I think it was like him and one other player against 4. I don't know the exact
Yeah,
numbers, but they were odd
are you
numbers
talking about
down.
right at the end? Yeah, he gets right at the end. I saw he got like a 3-man ult and
Yeah.
kills like 3 on his own.
He got a Rocket, a Punisher, and then someone off to the side. I couldn't see, but
Mhm.
they were on the ledge. Do you see on the curved
Yeah,
ledge?
yeah.
And he hops over Punisher to sprinkle it onto Rocket to some damage, and then gets that. Like, Gomez was coming off a spawn, and I couldn't see what happened. I had to watch the clip back, but Gomez literally was like coming out of spawn, like coming back to the point, and you just see Hogs' name, Hogs' name, Hogs' name. It's like, holy cow, he just clutched it in overtime for that situation. And
Mhm.
then your boy Gomez, he got to work. This, and I'm not glazing. I'm not trying to glaze. But Gomez, in my honest opinion, played some of the best Wolverine I have ever seen from someone. He literally, and I kid you not, was hitting like grab after grab after grab in angles. He took a hella off the map on choke point, and he didn't commit suicide on it. He took a hella off point, off on the map on Odin's tomb, and then from the down under, you know where the bridge is on that first, on your choke points, the bridge
Yeah,
that goes
yeah.
to the second floor. Gomez from underneath comes out and grabs a Punisher out of thin air. The Punisher was just like locked, loaded, and he just took him over. Completely surprised him to the point that Gomez looked like, I kid you not, the Deadpool movie Wolverine where he comes through the back window. Straight up, dude. Just completely just took this guy from out of like the deep. Gomez played really well. Dude, this guy was out of actual breath. He didn't breathe.
Yeah, he was.
Out of complete breath.
He was locked in.
It was so funny.
I will say, in terms of like the gameplay, it was such a missed ban to not ban Wolverine from Gomez, I think.
Yeah, they were talking about that too. They were like, they were confused because they were like, wait, they didn't ban Wolverine. Are they gonna play? Like, they were so confused. They're like, there's no way they just allowed that to happen, and they did. They gave Gomez his new like signature hero, and man, that guy, he went to town, man. So
I know. I was so surprised, especially since XQC just only plays Groot. So I was like, that's kind of setting himself up for torture. But
well, he also plays Venom. I mean, he has a pretty.
I mean,
decent
even with that, he still did like pretty good. Like considering.
Yeah. So a little bummed out because Hogs was like, "Hey man, I can't come today," and I'm just not feeling it. And I'm like, "Hey dude, you know what, dude? They won the tournament, and good for them." Gomez has like a whole new following online. Like he's like, holy cow, like this is all new territory for me. So I'm really happy for them. Good job for their legacy as they're continually, showing forth why that they're really, really good players. And then the rest of their team, man, they all just held their own. And Hogs gave a lot of credit to the rest of his team because his team, some of the people on there, that was really their first time playing. If not, like they've only been playing for like a day. They didn't play this game, like, and they did so. They played like they had been playing forever, and they like, dude, some of the most insane, like, quickest, adapting to like survival I've ever seen. But I want to say one more thing about the rule sets. So this is like kind of like, did you ever watch the Netflix series, the reality series? It's a Korean series. It's called 1 versus 100.
Yeah.
You did watch it?
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. Sometimes you just gotta pick within your boundaries. You gotta pick strong people. If the rules are given to you, just know anyone in their shoes would have done the same. Anyone. Like, it's just you gotta pick who you can pick, and if you can get someone, then yeah, like
that's why I was saying. I think it's just like, I think like there's a couple people I saw saying like it might as well have been like a pro tournament.
yeah,
I do think like a lot of teams were stacked, like more than others, but at the same time, you got to realize all of the people who had the opportunity to pick people for their team had the same amount of time to find people.
right. And in fairness, I would say their group was actually probably in terms of popularity wasn't as near of popular as some of the other teams of like the superstars that were like content creators that were on those teams. So in fairness, they don't necessarily have that type of resource to reach out to really, really good people at times, so at the end of the day, it's drama, but these
I
things
still think overall it was a fun watch.
It was
overall
a fantastic watch from everyone's point of view, and I had a blast watching it. So, but with that being said, congratulations to everyone that got to participate in it. I do look forward to watching more of the Twitch rivals. Hopefully, everyone can learn from this and just go forward and make it, just a better environment for everyone. And just, I had fun. I had fun watching it, and I didn't really have much complaints.
Do you know who Coney is?
Yeah, of course.
I was so happy he won. I love him.
He's a good guy. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next topic. This is actually a Chris pick. So today we are
Yes.
talking bans in meta talk. So Chris, lay it on me. How do you want to start this?
I usually just start with like who's just like getting banned the most, and it's
Okay,
really I would say there's like three. Like this, the top three is like Hulk, Wolverine, and like Storm.
I'm
Like
gonna be honest.
most games,
I
those
picked those
three.
in the banner just unintentionally.
Yeah, nobody like most people like those are safe. Like I'll call those like safe bans.
Right.
Like most people aren't going to be wanting to fight those characters right now.
You
Most
know,
game.
you know what's funny is I told myself in the start of Rivals when the game came out in season 0, um, I was really looking forward to playing Storm. I wanted to play Storm because I knew she was really good. She was a part of Goat's meta in the beta and the alpha, and just a strong component to teams. And they nerfed her to the point that she just really didn't have much value. And don't get me wrong, I don't try to play heroes because to play top tier. I mean, I didn't play
Hmm.
Hawkeye. I played a little bit of Hela just because everyone needed to. You had to have a pocket Hela or you couldn't survive at times. Um, that's the thing. Like Storm, I really had my eye on her when the game first came out, and sadly, she just got gutted with nerfs. And I don't know what they were thinking, but this character is absurd right now.
I know this.
She's so good.
I I think it's funny. Earlier, I just saw like a 15-second TikTok, and somebody just builds ult in like 10 seconds because they just right after using it as well on Storm.
I mean, the fact
Like
that you're
her,
you're
she just
building with
they
assists
buffed
and
so much.
kills,
Yeah, they buffed so much with it.
it's too much. Okay, so with that being said, I actually want to change really fast onto another hero before we continue about Storm.
Hmm.
Moon Knight's ability to charge ult. There's no way that stays the way it is. It's gonna get nerfed.
Okay,
They
it's
have to extend it. I got ult today with Surfer in the
yeah,
first 35 seconds of the game.
yeah. Okay, do you know what I was actually talking about this with some friends as well. It's kind of because we were testing it out. Did you know that one of the buffs they gave to his Ankh is the tracking is better?
Yes.
Like I've watched in replays and stuff from some of my matches. The tracking is absurd now. Like you'll
Have you
go
seen it curve?
flying.
Have you seen it
Yes.
curve? Yes. Yes, I know what you're talking
I
about.
have a replay where there's a Venom at 1 HP. He swings at the speed of light to the other side of the map, and one of the projectiles from the Ankh follows him across and kills him. Like it's the
Yeah.
tracking, I feel like shouldn't be like because I think what it's based on is like if you're in that range when it starts tracking, it'll track you all the way through
Until it hits. Yeah.
until it hits you, which is crazy. Like that is insanely good.
So,
But yeah,
okay,
also his ult. Oh wait, his
back
ult.
back to Storm though. So, Storm right now kind of a problem. She's just getting banned in
Yeah, really
every
strong.
match. She's just strong. I mean, her projectile speed is so strong. She damages now. She's just a massive assist to the team. Like just giving the team what is it? Is it 1.2 damage? Is that the or is it 1 point is it 112?
I'm not sure. I know.
1.12?
I think it's like a. Isn't it
Just
like a 12% when you
yeah.
press E, like empowered? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 1.12% or like in terms of increased damage. Like you're getting 1.12
Mm,
damage or whatever.
yeah.
But it's something like ridiculous that to the point you're able to just kind of I think mow down teams with her, and that's kind of an issue. Now, Storm being a problem, that's one thing. What the real problem, Chris, is triple support.
Yeah. That.
Like,
I
dude,
think
it's a
I
mess.
think this is it's crazy. I do think like I've had a couple games now, and by a couple I mean like a lot, where like it comes down to like sometimes the final fight is like six supports in the lobby have to perfectly time their ults after each other, and that's what decides the win.
Yeah. It's and by the time you get to your third ult, the guy that used his first is like already almost close to his, you know.
Yeah, you build it so quick. Okay,
It's a continuous
I,
infinite loop,
I think all of like the supports ults are strong, right?
right?
And I think that like maybe some of them just need to be tuned down, like the length. Like maybe Luna's should be like 8 seconds, like along with Mantis instead of 12.
Yeah. Here's my problem. Rocket Raccoon is still running around in rank. Okay. What the
He's
heck, dude? The fact that now that we can run a okay, so I actually was talking to Gomez about this, and he thinks that Punisher right now is one of the best DPS, but no one's using him, and it's because of triple support. The fact that you can just keep him alive for so long, and the fact
Mhm.
that you're getting immense value just shooting as long as you can with him. Because I mean, truthfully, he is the damage king. Like he's just so good at like breaking down walls, shields, items.
No, yeah, like
He's
I do think like one of like the most insane like comps I think you can run right now is like mag triple support, and then I like a really high damage DPS like you're saying Punisher.
right because he can
Or
technically
if you have Luna, you do Namor as well, and that's just
right
like
and just
insane
reinforce.
damage
Yeah,
output.
and that's the thing. Like the thing is Punisher is like on paper, Punisher is like he is the damage guy. Like if you need damage, he can technically solo damage. That's how he's supposed to be designed. It's just more
Mhm.
about like keeping, the president alive, right? Like keeping the valuable character on your team like alive. Like keep Punisher alive. With triple support, he just doesn't die. And if he is dying, then that's something to say about your supports. But like it's just really strong. That Namor right now, really great value. I mean, Namor's 3 heroes in
And they
one.
buffed him. They just
Yeah, they
buffed him
buffed
as
him.
well.
Yeah, I actually been enjoying playing him. Um, but the other problem is Wolverine. Wolverine right now is so good because he's able to separate the team. Now, this is where Magneto comes into effect. Magneto's stock value, like in the stock market right now, this man is bringing the resource metal, dude. He's bringing it up. He's saying, "All
He's
right,
up. He's up big time.
I'm cashing out." He's like bringing all the rare metals and everything. He's like, "It's my season. It's my time. Here's my Bitcoins. I've been, here's my Ethereum coins. I've got all this rare metal, okay?
Mhm.
I'm cashing in." And the reason why Magneto is so good right now is because he hard counters triple supports. He hard counters characters like Star-Lord. He's hard countering really good heroes like, in general, just DPS. And above all else, he's hard countering Wolverine. I mean, his ultimate is just such good value. You can take out supports while they're in. It's kind of like he's one of those rare heroes where you can ult while Luna or Mantis is ulting and just hit them with a big ball of metal and it
Mhm.
just destroys them, right? And that's good. That's great value. He can do the same thing. He can push out or push away. I mean, I don't know if you knew this, but you probably know this, but others don't. If Wolverine is actually taking your teammate and abducting them, you can use Strange's third level of his right click, which is his arrowhead, and
Mhm.
you can hit someone, and it will actually take the Wolverine off. Like it'll take the
Yeah.
Wolverine completely. It'll separate them. Not to mention, if they do get hit and they get captured, you can bubble them. You have these ways of reaching into that person and allowing them to get back while pushing forward with the shield and keeping them protected. So there's a lot of good
Yeah.
value that he's
I
bringing to
think
the table.
he's one of those characters where he's like he fits perfectly into like what's needed to counter almost everything that's good right now. Like I
Yeah.
think and it's funny, he's also really good against Storm because you can bubble somebody from the Storm's ult.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like saying, where are you going with this one? No, that's
Yeah.
true.
Or you could shield it as well. So he counters like
Right.
he counters
It's
literally everything that's good right now.
it,
So he
it's
kind of
just
just fits.
it's so interesting because like in general, this you were saying this before. This meta is you're having so much. I'm having so much more fun, Chris. Are you having fun?
I'm telling you, look, compared to the last season, this one is so much better.
And last season was still fun, aside from Hawkeye. But now it's just like there's
Yeah.
so many heroes to play. So back to what I was saying earlier, I have 4 lords now. 4. Okay. I go on my sprees of playing a hero, just really trying to figure them out. I'm working on the Winter Soldier right now, and I'm working on Moon Knight. And they're both
Mm-hmm.
in Centurion level right now. I'm going to be honest, Winter Soldier right now, in my opinion, is a very slept on hero. Do you know why?
Hmm.
His grab is very good because just like Wolverine, if Wolverine gets banned, I genuinely am like, dude, it's okay, guys. We have a Winter Soldier on the field because he can literally once, like, say for instance, like a cloak and dagger ults, right? And they're like in their thing. If you grab them, pull them out of their ult, he can basically burst them down so fast because he's designed to do these 1v1s, right? He's designed to just pull someone out and just destroy them. You can destroy like an invisible woman or a cloak and pull them out of their environment and destroy them. And when you destroy them, their ults, they're gone. They just disappear. So I've been playing a lot of him lately. Plus, he is a
Mm-hmm.
tank buster. And right now, if I see tanks on the field, I'm just completely taking them out of the environment, just membering their team and just completely tearing through them. So right now, I think honestly, this is my personal pick. I think Winter Soldier right now is a sleeper pick. Like no one's talking about how good he is in the current like actual game.
Yeah, I think he gets one thing I think he's really good with is he counters Loki.
Yes, that too. He counters Loki. He counters dive. He counters tanks, and he literally can pull like supports out of their environment. I mean, it's kind of a win. I mean, you can honestly two tap like strategists pretty fast, and I don't know. Like I see him a lot now, and I don't think enough people are talking about him.
Yeah, I think one like team comp that's like I think is like really it's I would say it's like reliable because of how evil it is like I think it's called like triple kidnap. And what you do is like
Is
basically
this
all
with
you have is
Thor?
like you could do it with Thor, but usually it's like
Wolverine and
you have
Bucky.
a Wolverine, Bucky, and Invisible Woman. And what you do is you
Oh, you just pull them
kidnap
in.
somebody's Wolverine, or you do like it's one of two things. You start with Wolverine or Bucky, you pull him in. Wolverine pulls them even further, and then Invisible Woman pulls them again. So you
Yeah.
just can't get out.
I've had it happen to me a couple times. I think with Thor, I don't know why Thor's not being talked about. Thor in general, I mean, you just shift him. Like if Wolverine kidnaps him, you just
You know
basically
what's weird? I feel like Thor, he's kind of like he's kind of like okay right now, but he's also like not that great.
yeah, it's rough. It's just the fact that his shift, like you can use that shift to bury people more in. I mean, no one I have a problem right now where if I play like other heroes, Thor is just a problem for me. But if I play Bucky, Thor is like easy mode. Like he can just 1v1 him and survive. And I don't know what it is, but Bucky's buffs, like his sustainability is just better. So I play him in the middle of teams now where I'm like being aggressive with Bucky. It's
Hmm.
scary how good Bucky is as an aggressor. It's actually really good.
Yeah, I mean he does a
But
ton of damage.
he and it's fast. Like if you can hit your headshots with him, you can tear down tanks so fast. You can break through them pretty hard. But um then there's the Hulk issue. Okay? So the Hulk, obviously we know the reason why, and it's because Iron Man. Hulk is just
Yeah.
good. Hulk enables Iron Man. Triple comp with Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Hulk is just so strong. And then
Hmm.
you do that with triple support, and it's like, what are we playing here, guys?
Yeah, I don't know. I Hulk is weird because I don't even want to say he's like broken because I don't think he's broken. He's just strong.
Yeah,
But the
he's
thing
just
is he's not easy. Like
no one wants to play him. No one wants to get good with him, but you can
like
keep
you
him alive
have
with triple
to
support,
you have to be good with him to like get a lot of value.
right?
Like this sounds funny. I'm not even scared of Iron Man anymore. I'm just scared of Hulk. Like I don't even want to fight Hulks anymore. I just
See, I'm the
because like the
opposite.
ones that are really good are like your team won't know how to deal with them if
Right.
you have like a coordinated Hulk.
I'm just the other way around. I don't like Iron Man because Invisible Woman just blocks him from being hit. Like you get 300 shield in front of you now, while Iron Man just unibeaming the crap out of everybody, and it's like it's annoying because if you don't have someone or something to deal with it, like if you don't have hit scan, Iron Man is just oppressive right now. And it's funny, I don't even play the hero as much anymore. I feel like Iron Man is really only as good as your supports are. I think Iron Man is a pretty easy hero, but he dies he's such a glass cannon. It's not a joke. But
Yeah.
but he's only as good as your supports. Like your supports need to just hard perma like focus him to the point where he just lives. And when he lives, his value, his stocks, they just go right up.
Yeah.
It's
And you need like insane positioning to play him as well without just
yeah.
getting instantly beamed.
Yeah, because like the thing is like if you go with a flank with him now, like everyone just knows to look up and shoot you. And his flight to get away is not it's not fast enough. His mobility isn't this like I said before, and this is a hot take. I don't think Iron Man has good mobility from an escape like reasoning. Like if you want to use his unibeam, you have to risk it. You have to get in and use it. But that puts a massive target on you. Like and when
Yeah,
you do
I think that's why I was saying like you need good positioning to like once you go in, you have to already have a plan of how you're gonna get out. You don't just
right.
like wing it because then you'll just die.
Right. So yeah, I think it's just like it comes down to that. But right now he's just great, and then when he's not there, it's a whole
I
mess
will
with other
say
things.
the nerf they gave him where he just sounds like a giant jet engine, even around a corner is kind of funny.
You just
Like I do
it's like
think that's a good
what the
nerf
heck?
because I
Yeah,
don't think you should be able to like blitz somebody without any sound cues from like across a corner.
I just think of William Defoe looking up every time I hear
I
it.
know. I'm surprised now looking back that that didn't have even like a slight sound cue.
Yeah, I mean, good players could hear it, but
Yeah, like I mean I could hear it, but it's like I can't hear it attacking my backline kind of thing.
it's like switching your computer to performance mode instead of quiet mode. It's just-
I know. Now it's like never a mystery if they have an Iron Man. I just hear the giant jet fly across my screen and I
what
know.
what do you think right now? What do you think would be the solution to like this game's current three strategists? Like, what would you give it? What would you do?
I I think they do like one of two things. They either make it harder to get the ult because like healing in general is insanely strong. Like even without ults.
Right. I mean,
Sometimes like
Cloak and
it can be really
Dagger,
hard to kill people.
Cloak and Dagger gets hers in the first like 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think either what you do is you make it take longer to get them. So like lower healing is what I
Right.
mean by that, like lower healing numbers in general.
Right.
Or you just nerf the ultimates so that like even if you get them fast, it feels more like there's more of a kill window even if you get them really quick.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like for me, there's a couple of heroes that I think about. I mean, there's so many ultimates where ultimates stay alive, like Captain America, Mantis, the Invisible Woman, Cloak and Dagger. I actually really like the Cloak and Dagger change where it's 4 now. I like that. I like having
Mhm.
my team being able to like create me a pathway to get into the point. I like that. I think it's pretty cool. I feel like that's a really nice thing, but it gets to the point where it's like Invisible Woman's. I actually think they need to nerf her ultimate, and here's why. You can't see inside of it from the outside. That's a scary thought process. I mean, it's not that bad, but it's just scary because it lasts like what
Mhm.
8 seconds or something. When you do want to peek into it, it slows you. I think that's a bad option. I don't think an environment like that should slow people because it doesn't make any sense as to why
Yeah.
the other team can't be slow. Like you're taking a risk already walking in blinded, but now I'm slowed. Like that's a bigger risk, and it infinitely heals you like insanely absurdly great. I just think that I don't know. It's very interesting to think about. Now here's the thing, and I said this before. Moon Knight. Moon Knight is kind of a counter to these because, well, he's able to reach into the support backlines very easily, just basically doing raw
Hmm.
damage, right? His chain connections to those are great. His ultimate, it can actually eat through those ultimates, like kind of like similar to Magneto. When they are, in their ultimate, if they're sitting there and you use Moon Knight's brand new big ult, 14 more hands coming down faster, you can snipe out the Invisible Woman or a Mantis or the Luna out of those, and That's great. That's nice. But at the same time, Moon Knight gets his ult so incredibly fast now because he just does, and it's ridiculous. It's now to the point where I'm getting my ult in 30 seconds and I'm taking out someone of their backline. And when I have the Moon Knight on my team and I'm not playing it because I'm playing Strange, I don't have that Moon Knight on my team. I get they have the Moon Knight on their team that's doing that. So
Hmm.
it's just kind of rough. But do you think right now this game's like what do you think about dive? Do you think dive is strong?
Mm, I think this is gonna sound kind of funny. I think everything is strong. Like I think like it's I think the only reason maybe I don't know. I think it depends. Like that's where the bans make it really interesting.
Right.
It's because like I've had games where people ban Luna, Mantis, Cloak, and Loki.
Loki.
Yes, so that there's like no healing. Like healing is evaporated from the game,
We're just gonna take him to raw gun strength.
and I think like I don't even think you need to go that far, but it's like even just banning like Luna and then banning like or banning Loki or something to get rid of his lamps. Like you could easily play dive into most teams.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting because like from my perspective, like you said, everything is strong. My fear is that if they're going to continue to add more heroes, this is going to potentially become a problem. We went, sorry for yawning. We went from never really figuring out like we went from kind of like this is meta, right? Like we never really had that in season 0. Like, oh, this is meta.
Hmm.
We have to play this meta comp. Right now, it kind of feels like there's so much variety, but no matter what, you want to run 3 healers, and that's the rough thing. It's like this is
Yeah, like
not.
right now, I think undeniably it's the best. Like that is the best team you could run.
And here's my thing, and this is why Rocket is just getting so much backlash. There are Rocket players right now in comp, and I'm almost feeling like, and the reason why a lot of people feel he's a throw pick is because it's just, you're just a healer with no good ult. I don't think his ult is great. His ult is not good right now. It's just in general, you don't have the survivability of what Invisible Woman, Cloak and
You mentioned
Dagger.
it a second ago, but it's like it's funny. Like it's funny to compare some ults, right? Like I know Rocket has like a res that he has just on cooldown,
Right.
which is like that is like a good ability. His AoE healing is like decent. Like it's not even bad.
His AoE heals are great.
Yeah,
It is good, but there's 2 reasons why it's not amazing, and it's because he has to reload, and that reload instantly takes away so much value, and it's just all he has.
like that's okay. Exactly. That's what I was just about to say. His okay, but it is so sad to think about. His ult, right? Rocket when he puts down his ult, that's just like the damage boost.
Right.
His damage boost is the same as Luna when you swap the damage boost, except Luna could also choose to just fully make people invincible.
All game.
So it's like, and not when they added Invisible Woman, I thought about this as well. Like you were saying earlier, it slows them. You can't see into the ult unless you step into it.
Right.
It basically is like Luna, where it's like you can die in it. Like the healing isn't as strong as Luna's, but it's like you won't die in it probably if it's up.
Right.
And Rocket is just like
Just bad, and
it's
you can
just
destroy it, and
it's
you can
just
destroy it.
that's the other thing is like I he has like OG roster syndrome, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like he has, and you can feel it when it's like Invisible Woman has a push, a pull, can go invisible, can heal herself, can shield, and Rocket is just Rocket. He's just a raccoon that has like
He
a damage
he
boost every once in a while.
Here's my main argument as to why I get frustrated with Rocket players. You are giving up you either have survivability or you have fight power, right? So like you like, or let me say this again. You either go for survivability or you go for fight power. It's either shield or sword, right? Rocket has a dash, and because of that, he doesn't have any form of CC. Everyone else has a form of CC, but they don't have a dash. And I can't explain to people, oh, well, he's got a dash. He can run away. I don't care. That's not going to keep them away from following you. Like, they're going to follow you. A good player is going to follow you, seek you out, and take you out. Your dash is there's no meaning for it. It's just not good. It's not good when you should just be fighting the fight anyways. Like, running from the fight is not the way to do it.
Like, do you know
Running.
what I actually think is the best way to play him right now?
What's that?
I don't know. This is just from my experience.
I'm
I
gonna
actually
hate
think
what you're about to
Rocket.
say.
I actually think Rocket is like pretty good into like Hulk.
Well, like staying with him.
No, like against Hulk. And the reason I say that, right, is because Rocket's whole thing is like you get the most value from never dying.
Right.
Rocket actually has like pretty decent damage. And
Well, he does better damage than Punisher. Actually, people don't know
like
that.
he does pretty decent damage if you hit your shots. He's really good at bursting down Hulk, I think, if you focus it. And I think like you either have to decide like you have to like know when to shoot as Rocket and when to heal.
That's
And
the
I think
hard
just
part.
mixing it in is like the hard part, but I think that's like if you play him like that, that's what makes him good.
Yeah, I feel like the only thing that you could do is you could maybe play Rocket like a DPS with like a slight of bit of heals.
That's
I
what I'm
just
saying. Is I think
that's
that's
the
like
problem though. The
a
problem though
decent
is
way to
that
play him.
I just feel like he's just not good. It's just
Okay,
rough.
you know what's scary though? Is like
What?
I think because I've seen a lot of people be like they should buff Rocket, like his healing or his damage. I think if they buff either, realistically, he would be
Amazing.
broken.
Yeah, I would much rather like that.
Like I think like I think it'd be nice if they buffed him, but I think it should be to his ult. If they buff his base kit, that's when we get into like the meta is going to be like Luna, Cloak and Dagger Rocket, and
Do you
nothing ever dies.
do you think his ult should be able to heal? Like if you shoot your heals, it intensifies your heals. Like it damage boosts your
No, you
heals
know what
for
I thought about?
heals,
I think his ult should make you reload faster.
or give everyone infinite ammo with speed
Okay, if
shooting.
it gave if
No,
it
no,
gave
no. That's
everybody
actually a really cool idea. Hold on. Here, let me
that's
cook.
broken.
Let me cook. Okay, and staying alive with 12 seconds of a Luna ult isn't? Like, let me
Okay,
cook.
I mean that's broken too, but I mean
Okay.
there's a
Go.
difference between okay, imagine a Star Lord shooting the way Punisher does.
Yes.
I would uninstall the game.
Let me hear me out. Hear me out. I'm not saying this is a great idea. I'm just saying it's an idea, okay? Versus going for a better like defensive ult, why don't they just double down and give him a better offensive ult? Either give everyone the ability of having infinite
Okay,
ammo.
that I agree with you on actually. I don't think they
Yeah.
should even try to make it heal.
Go in on it because he's all about
I
guns.
think that's what I'm saying. I think the only thing he suffers from is like why does Luna get the same amount of damage boost as his ult?
Exactly. So
Like he just
make
needs
it
to get like tuned up on damage.
either make it to the point where the ult can combat a Luna ult. That would be cool, right? Like, okay, like I want to play Rocket because they're playing Luna. Like that would be a really cool conversation to have. Like, and then at that point, I just use damage boost in order to combat their Luna, and that makes the conversation a little bit different because it's like at least there's a strategist that can counter strategists. So, for instance, we have Bucky Barnes. Bucky Barnes is a character designed to, completely single and target tanks, right? Or other. He's just a 1v1 artist. He's designed like Spider-Man pretty much runs the whole game, right? Like if Spider-Man can do whatever he wants, he will. But if he tries to do it on Bucky, it doesn't work out the same because Bucky can turn that fight. Let Rocket do the same thing against strategists. I think that'd be kind of cool. I don't know if that's the solution. It's just an idea. It would be interesting to see. Maybe give it, and hear me out. Maybe give everyone infinite ammo. Maybe not the speed boost of like say Punisher team up, but give everyone infinite ammo so they don't have to reload. Give everyone, giving everyone maybe bigger increased damage. Maybe not because it's like what 40%, right, or something like that. Give everyone.
I think it's less.
Give it like more than 50%, or give it something where it feels impactful.
Okay, that's really
maybe,
important.
But maybe
I think they need to make
time.
it so you feel it. The time is. See, and that would make it
So
or
you have
what they could do is
yeah.
buff the damage it does, right? But maybe lower the health pool of the ult.
Maybe like give it the amount of boost that it needs, but like it has to be like a high risk, high reward. So you do the ult, you give everyone in your team stronger, boost, like a really strong boost, but give it a really short amount of time so that you have to be smart with it. You have to be good with it, and that it makes that impact. Like if I need to like say we need to get through like double shields, or we need to get through shields like or Doctor Strange and like Groot's walls, everyone just like maybe make it like Punishers, like ult, like strength, but for like maybe 5 seconds, so you have to, and you have to be in that circle of like an area, like because obviously you can't like you can't just be in like you can't be just so mobile with it. You have to be within that circular area that you have to take that fight. So it makes that choke that you're trying to push through. It gives it that actual like nth that it needs. So I don't know. Maybe that could be the thing, but I think that would really give him a better stock value. I just think that Rocket's. I think he's ass. I think he's so bad. I get so aggravated when I see it on my team. I get more mad when I know that our support player is a Lord Rocket, and that is the only hero that they're playing right now, and it's rough because they choose to like.
I think the issue is like if your Rocket isn't having like a million healing and a bunch of damage, he's kind of just throwing.
Right.
But I think at the very least, they need to make his ult noticeable. Like,
did you see the guy on Twitter that got to Grandmasters without ever doing any damage with a Rocket?
yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
That right there, I just want to put this out there, is everything I've ever emphasized into a Rocket player. I've always said, please stop doing damage, just heal. If you're gonna play the hero, just heal me. I will take out
that's
the
issue I'm
entire
talking
team,
about, where
Chris.
people don't know how to balance it bad enough to the point to where people are just like, just stop, like just heal.
Yeah, it's like he has the Moira syndrome. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's literally Moira syndrome. And you know what's funny? Guess what? Guess what his right click is, Chris? It's a Moira ball.
It's a ball, a bunch of balls. I don't know. I will say, I just really want them to buff his ult so bad. It's his ult is so bad, no one even bothers to break it. Like people don't even care.
Do you know what I actually do with Rocket that no one is actually even doing or thinking of? I actually don't play him behind the team. I actually try to play him on the side of the team. And I allow the ball to continue to keep going back and forth so that it gets the most out of its heals. And I do this. I look for corners. I'm just trying to ricochet the ball in a room where it's just circulating, like going around, versus going through and back. Because like sometimes it's not always going to come back. I think genuinely, if you shoot his heals from like a side angle against walls, you get so much more out of the heal, and that's the best way to play him. I think that's really the best way to heal with him. His heal output is good. It's not the best. It's good. But it will be better if people actually try to focus on bouncing the orbs through in and through out. And that's the one thing about him that he's not being developed with. Other than that, I think that was really good. I think that was good that I had to bring up Rocket because he's butt cheeks right now. Loki is really strong right now.
Yeah, I think he's really good. I
His
don't know.
shift
I
ability
feel
is
like
great. He's a menace. He's
I
strong. He's
think
seen
right
everywhere.
now he benefits from the triple support
I
thing.
do too. I think
I
so
don't. I
too.
think if that gets tuned down, he becomes a lot more normal.
Well, I mean, the fact that you're able to just copy uh, one of your supports is just so inherently strong.
Mm,
And not to mention, he has his shift abilities, which are really strong.
yeah.
And he's skyrocketed. I think he's just really
I
good.
think like the thing he benefits the most from right now is you can copy your own teammates. So like
Yeah.
one big thing people always do is you just pick Luna, you go Loki, and you get double Luna, and that's
Yep.
24 seconds of not being able to die.
The other day, I had someone do the most unthinkable thing I've ever seen a Luna do. Do you want to know what it was?
Hmm.
They switched to damage boost when I was Punisher ulting.
That's beautiful.
I clipped it, and it's the most amazing thing you'll ever see. I not only broke through a Doctor Strange shielding during a Luna. It was our Luna ult versus their Luna ult, and I
Mm.
went through their Luna ult like a train through a box, like a cardboard box. I just I took them off the board, dude. It was McNasty. Okay, it was pretty sweet. And I was shocked because it was a random on my team, and I go, holy cow! I just destroyed Luna, Doctor Strange, and their Mantis, and their Groot
Yeah.
faster than I could blink. And I was just shooting, and they ulted, and then we just plowed through them. And I was like, that was the most insane thing I've ever seen in this game. But yeah, that's a thing, and no one's doing that, and that's a thing. People need to be doing that more often, please, and thank you, because that's what would happen if we had a rocket alt that could do that. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. See, that's what I'm saying. It's so like it's dumb. It's dumb. Why is this old not better? It should be.
Is there any other heroes or bands or in terms of meta like you want to like touch up on? Any other heroes that you're like
Uh,
outliers? No Hawkeye. I haven't seen Hawkeye.
I'm not gonna lie. I could care less about that character now. He's so easy to take care of. I
Yeah.
think because
It's
to be fair,
interesting how.
he's never really been the more annoying one to me. It's always been Hella.
Do you think Hella's still good?
I still think she's the best DPS in the game.
I haven't touched her, but is it more shots that you have to shoot now? Like, what is it that they did to her? They know that they decreased her health, and they have
I
fall
don't
off.
think. I think now you can't headshot body shot, which is big.
Oh, okay, but I'm sure it's like a couple extra shots. It's not that bad.
Yeah, it's like something like that. It's like one extra shot or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't pay attention to it that much, but I know it's noticeable. I think and I think the Hawkeye nerfs hit him a little more because he was never better than Hella anyways. So
Right.
like the nerfs are just gonna hit him harder passively.
Right.
I don't know. Hella's just she's one of those characters where she's never gonna be bad, like ever.
Unless they just completely make her like an 8 shot. So
I okay, that would be I would feel I would at that point I would feel bad for Hella
I would
players.
never feel it bad. She's had a half of a year, if not almost a full year, Chris, of terror. Okay, she had her time. She came up from the underground. She thought
Okay,
she could
just be
hang,
happy
and
none of these people have to fight Alpha Hella. Just be
Alpha
happy.
Hella will forever stay in my mind.
Or
It's
Punisher. The Punisher shotgun that can one shot from a mile away.
oh man, those were the days, Chris. Those were the days. But yeah, I think Captain America's pretty strong right now.
He's okay. He
He's a
feels a
unique
little
pick.
better.
He feels like a unique pick.
He's a stall. He's a stall pick.
Yeah. Other than that, who other heroes are there right now that are kind of?
I think really that's pretty much all of them that are like the ones in like the spotlight.
All I'm saying, man, I've been having a blast with Moon Knight. He is so satisfying. I haven't really been using a whole lot of Star Lord, sadly, just because triple comp right now just doesn't feel good for him. I mean,
Hmm.
Invisible Woman hard counters him. I can't see inside of that entire thing, like at all. And then
Yeah.
if I try to wait it out, then they have a Luna. I can't. I feel like Star Lord just right now isn't strong. Things get healed too easily. He can't burst it down fast enough. That's just for me at least. I could be wrong about from other perspective. If you get two supports, I'll play him. But if they're running three supports, I can't play him. It's not good. It doesn't feel good. Um, yeah, I think I've been
I
seeing
think
more
that's probably
Widowmaker. I've been seeing more Black Widows. They're kind of rising around. They're out of
yeah.
desperation for Hawkeye. Um, Magic is, I think, pretty good right now. She's, I think, phenomenal, especially with her buffs. Um,
Oh yeah, she's actually pretty good right now as well. Yeah,
she's very
Magic.
good. She's very good. People are really liking her because you can just kind of get in, one shot someone, and then just get out, And she's kind of a menace. Um, Black Panther, I don't care what anyone says. I think he's still fantastic.
He
I've
is really
been,
good.
he's just so good at what he does, and forcing ults early is what he's good at doing. I think that he's great for that. I've actually been seeing Necros play a lot of him lately too. Other than that, I don't know, Chris. I think is that it for the day?
I think so. I think so. I don't know. There's not really everyone else, like all the other heroes, are kind of just the same in
I
terms
mean,
of like
there's more
their
Punisher
place.
nowadays.
You know?
And I think that's
Yeah.
good to see. He was kind of like left out for a while.
He was last season. I actually think he was pretty bad.
Yeah, I would say so. And that's coming from someone that used to use him a lot.
He
Um,
got like extremely outshined.
yeah, I
Now
think.
he's a little more viable, I think.
Well, Scarlet Witch.
No, which
Anyways,
so that'd be great if she existed in the game, but sadly she's gone.
so you're talking about Cloak and Dagger or Scarlet Witch? All right.
Maybe
Well,
one day they'll buff Scarlet.
I
I
think
can only
that's gonna
hope.
I think that's gonna be it for today, Chris. What do you think?
Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it.
All right, you guys. Well, don't forget to like and subscribe if you made it to the end. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to Chris as he makes awesome, fun content. You can find his details below. But this was a fun episode, Chris. Always love to have you every single week as we continue to make more fun content. One piece of quick, little thingy majiggy, make sure you guys look out for any type of I think they talked about you can get a new spray for watching a movie. Is that right?
Oh yeah, the Captain America one
Yeah,
and the
make sure you
skin as well.
yeah, there's gonna be like a skin to get if you guys go watch the movie. You can find it in the Discord on the Marvel Rivals Discord. Go get that skin. Make sure that you guys buy it through I think Regal or something like that. I saw a Twitter post about it. Make sure you guys go and look into the details on how to get that. And be on the lookout, man. We're gonna have some really awesome. We're almost close to the mid of the season, so
Hmm.
get your ranks up. Enjoy your guys' time, and again, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next one, next Monday at 6 a.m. Sorry for again
Hmm.
the late posting, but we had some unfortunate fallouts. But yeah, guys, we'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Hmm.